I want to tell you about ASINSIGHT. It's one of the most impressive tools I've ever seen for Amazon sellers because it tracks every relevant data point we need to know. And it's not just a moment in time, it's tracking it over long periods of time so that we can establish baseline trends for things like where do we rank on certain high value keywords and phrases. It tracks where our ads rank. It tracks a ton of things that I want to show you in this video so that you can leverage these insights and assist yourself in succeeding on Amazon. So let's get to it. If you want to follow along to this tutorial, I'll put a link to ASINSIGHT in the description along with a code Ryan that'll take 30% off for the first 12 months. You can also start with a free trial using the button right here in the middle of the page so that you can see just how powerful this tool really is. Now, once you are signed up, go ahead and either enter an ASIN that you want to see right here into the search bar, or for an example, you can just use the ASINs of the products that they have pre-selected. So I went ahead and I clicked that first one. You can see that these are Sony headphones. Right up there in the top left, you can see that there are 3 variations of this parent ASIN. It looks like it's by color. There is a black version, a white version, and a navy blue version. You can even see a breakdown of the traffic with black leading with 54%, then white 28.7%, and blue lagging with 17%. So already, if you were exploring this niche, this product niche for your own research purposes that you may want to sell in this niche, you already know you want to lean towards selling a black pair of headphones before you worry about offering additional colors, right? We've already established that. Now, if we scroll down beyond that, we can actually see right here, if you want to view it on Amazon, go ahead and click there to do so. Here is the listing on Amazon. So that Amazon button right there, you can click also next to there to copy the ASIN. There is a 7-day traffic score right next to there, okay? And you can see that over the last 7 days, based on when I'm recording this, all right, traffic is actually down week over week, 16.34%. Now, I'm recording this a week after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so it actually makes sense that traffic's probably down a bit. Probably not something to get overly concerned about right now, given the, extreme shopping holiday. But you can actually click the chart icon there, and you can see a breakdown here of the organic versus advertised traffic. Now, the dark blue is the organic traffic and the light blue is the advertised traffic. And what you can actually see is that back here in, October, it looks like for this ASIN, it was getting more traffic almost on a 2-to-1 basis from ads. However, when it really started to count, and that, by the way, that could just be that they cranked up their ad spend ahead of the big, fourth quarter, November, December sales, so that in November, December, when it really counts, if you ask me, it flipped and now it's 2-to-1 organic traffic to advertised traffic, with it looks like as high as, on their best day, about 80% organic traffic to 20% advertised traffic. So it looks like they really did a good job, whoever's managing their ads. There's various time frames as well, so you can go back in time and evaluate essentially, a traffic breakdown of how they were doing this. And you can look at their display position and how much traffic was associated with each display position, from organic rank to sponsored products to sponsored brands to sponsored brand videos to Amazon's choice to highly rated to other organic recommendations and sponsored other recommendations. So one thing that's really cool about ASINSIGHT that I've truly never seen another tool do is track all of these positions and the related traffic associated with them over time. Notice it's over time. We're looking at this and we're not just seeing a snapshot. We're seeing over the last, 180 days. I mean, this tool is so powerful. It's actually crazy, because also I remember I used to be a web developer, and the web crawlers they must be using to monitor this traffic is just insane. So you can see they associate an organic traffic score, an ad traffic score. It looks like generally for this ASIN, since it looks like September to November, so 3 months, they're saying on average 60% of the traffic for these Sony headphones came organically and 40% came from ads. You can also see 483, sorry, I don't want to zoom in too much, but hopefully you can see where I'm referring. 483 organic keywords are driving traffic to this ASIN, and 589 keywords from ads. Now, if we scroll down here, you can see, well, actually, you can look at the 3-month averages too. The total traffic score is up 30%, organics up 32%, ads are up 28%. But down here is where it gets really interesting. So you get to break it down on a keyword to keyword basis. Chances are you're going to care more about certain phrases and keywords than others, right? This is every product in Amazon's catalog. It's just like saying, hey, during Christmas time, I want to be ranked number one when people go to Amazon and type in Christmas gift, right? That would be my number one phrase if I could choose any to just overnight magically rank number one on. I'm sure, whoever's selling these headphones would as well, Sony. But notice the first keyword here, their highest value phrase driving them traffic is Sony headphones. Probably comes as no surprise to anybody, okay? And you can see here, there's a ton of data in this table for each term. Every row in this table is a different search term. So they got Sony headphones, Sony WH-1000 MX5, maybe that's like the model. They also have the MX4, Sony MX5, Bose headphones. That's number 5 on this list, which goes to show you that, hey, Amazon's cutthroat, just like Google is, right? Have you ever Googled something and instead of finding what you searched for, you see an ad for their competitor at the top of search, right? It's cutthroat. Google will sell competitors the right to outrank whatever people looked for. And when, you know what I mean? When Google knows exactly what we were looking for. In this case, Amazon's doing the same thing where Sony is paying to rank ahead of Bose when people type in Bose headphones into the search bar. Strategy, you know what I mean? It's working. So you can see Bose headphones in the number 5 spot. Number 6 spot, I thought this was really interesting. I am not an Apple guy. So when I saw AirPods Max, for a second, I thought it was like a new Nike shoe, right? Like Air Maxes or something. But no, AirPods Max, I had to look it up. Looks like Apple launched some new headphones for $500. Needless to say, guys, if you're planning on sending me a Christmas gift, save your money. I don't want them, but I'm not going to be caught dead paying $500 for headphones. And if you're an Apple person, tell me I'm wrong in the comments and I will not fight you, but I'm not doing it. I think that's insanely overpriced. Anyways, back to why we're here. XM5, Sony XM4, Sony. So what you're going to want to do, honestly, and you can export this data table behind me. You're going to want to scroll until you get past the like brand plus model specific search terms. And you're going to want to write a list of phrases and keywords. I mean, it's mainly phrases, right? I think of it as literal phrases more than a single search term relevant to this niche as a whole, because again, you're looking at this through the lens of I might want to sell in this niche. Okay. So make a list of the relevant search terms that is driving them traffic and converting into sales. So when they say Sony, it's like, okay, maybe make a separate list for competitors and write down Sony, write down Bose, and write down the AirPods Max. But then your primary list is going to have, keywords like Sony headphones again. Maybe it's just headphones, right? And then maybe over-ear headphones. Yeah, headphones is right there. Noise canceling headphones, right? Wireless headphones, quiet comfort, even though that's kind of a reference to Bose. Either way, hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. You leverage that to make your initial list. And then if you end up selling in this niche, drill down into them, see exactly how relevant these search terms are to this product that we're looking at. And I'm assuming that when you're using ASIN Insight to drill down into these products and their data, it's because they're like probably the organic rank 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click Sony headphones and we're gonna get a in-depth breakdown of this specific search term. Now it's not just in the context. So let's go back here. This is just in the context of this ASIN up here, right? We already established that this is the Sony over-ear, wireless noise canceling headphones. When we looked at this page, that's all we're seeing. That's the lens. When we click Sony headphones as a keyword, okay? Now we're looking at that search term as the lens, and it's not restricted just to the Sony headphones, although the Sony headphones do rank really well on these terms, okay? As you would expect, Sony headphones. So now we can actually scroll down and see on average what is ranking at the top spot. And you can actually see there's an impression, a column here called 7-day impressions. It looks like the white Sony headphones that are $98, so significant discount, it's gotta be a different model, is averaging over the last week, the number 2 spot. The number 1 spot, it looks like, is in fact this is that the MX5? No, it's the MX4. Okay, so the MX4 is actually on average ranking number 1 over the last 7 days. That's the older model of the headphones that we were looking at just a second ago. Okay, we were looking at the MX5. It looks like there's a ZX series. Okay, there is another ASIN right here, and I can tell them apart mainly from the price point, right? And then in the number 5 spot right here, we have the MX5, which is what we were just looking at. Actually, no, I said the number 5 spot, but it's actually in the number 3 spot in terms of the average Amazon search rank. I know that because it says 3rd right here, and you can just click the little traffic icon and again get the pop out here for their organic versus their advertised traffic. You can see their display position traffic based on where they rank. They have it even broken down to an hourly trend. So the web crawlers tracking all this information for ASIN Insight are working overtime, and you can see it on a daily trend. I'm not going to obsess to the point where I have to look at the hourly chart, but if you're an obsessive person, just know that it's here in ASINSIGHT for you. And again, you get to break it down by all of these different sources. So it's not just your organic rank, it's organic rank, it's sponsored products, it's sponsored sponsored brands, sponsored brand videos, which if you guys have never done a video ad, you've got to try it. The minimum CPC for a video is 25 cents, which is higher than any other ad format that I'm aware of on Amazon, maybe except for like the TV ads that they just rolled out. But it's worth it for 25 cents because there's often very little traffic. Okay. I mean, sorry, very little competition. Very little competition is what I meant to say. Very little competition. So you go in with the floor bid, and it's a nice way to highlight your product and show it off in a video ad. So that's my recommendation there. Besides this, you can see the traffic ratio. So what percentage of the traffic associated with the search terms, in this case, remember, we scroll up, it's Sony headphones that we're looking at. What percentage of that traffic is being absorbed by this product? So up there, this is the number 2 spot, the white Sony headphones, 4.97%. The black MX4, the older model, in the number 1 organic spot, of course, gets the lion's share, 5.23%. Okay, number 3 right here, the MX5 is getting 3.63%. Also, just an interesting case study there because the MX5 we know is $328. Okay, $328. That's a lot. That's a big price tag on a relative basis. I mean, hey, unless you're talking about buying those Apple headphones for $500, I'm just saying. On a relative basis, look at this. The white headphones are $98, and I guess the number 1 though, the MX4 is $228. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting that the $328 headphones get still that much of a significant percentage of the traffic, right? At such a high price point. I guess people really just do trust where Amazon, ranks things. You can see a column dedicated to the traffic distribution, organic versus ads. You can see the different display positions. So what you'll see here, it's color coded, but that way you know what products are being advertised, right? We see that Sony is actively pumping ad budget into the XM5, the new model, the high-end model with the higher price point, and they're not necessarily advertising the other models. Otherwise, you would see those colored boxes representing ads, right? We just talked about sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored brand videos, etc. You would see them lit up, and instead you're not seeing them outside of the MX5. You can see the organic rank. You can actually click to view the history again of that. We already showed that, okay? You can see the sponsored product rank, and when you click those under those columns, it filters out the other ones and just shows, if you click organic rank, it's just going to show organic rank. They have a traffic score and an organic traffic score and an ad traffic score. Those are the 3 columns here behind me. All right. The main one you're probably going to want to look at is the 7-day traffic score, which is an aggregate of the organic traffic and the ad traffic. Now, if you scroll back up to the top, you can see there's a tab for Ad Spot Dominator. Here you can actually see ASINSIGHT is not only tracking organic rank, it's tracking the predictable ad placements on Amazon. For instance, we're all pretty familiar. It can vary by category, but when you search on Amazon for something, typically like 4 of the first 5 spots in search, I mean, again, it can vary by category, are going to be sponsored product ads. Above that, you typically see a sponsored brand ad. You know what I mean? They used to be called headline search ads. Well, ASINSIGHT is tracking what products are occupying the first spot, the second spot, the third spot for sponsored products. All right. And other ad types as well. You can see it says SP and then it says other ads right here. But ideally you want to be in the first sponsored product ad spot. And that's going to typically be whoever bids the most money for that, right? So you can see the P1 won 32.3% of the time is this product right here. And it looks like, what are those, Bose? Yeah, so it looks like Bose white noise canceling headphones are primarily the ones ranking in that first spot. And you don't have to guess. You know what I'm saying? Like ASINSIGHT is tracking this information for us. So all you have to do is leverage the information that they are making available to us here. There is an ad rotation tracker as well. And again, you can break this down by the various types of ads as well. So again, sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored brand videos. And if you don't run videos, you're not going to show up under here. So when you see products here, you already know that they are running, videos, but sponsored products to me are really the bread and butter. That's where you really want to be ranking. And you have control really for the most part. I mean, like if you're not performing, if your ad isn't performing, whether your price point's too high, your listing sucks, or your product just isn't relevant on those search terms, then Amazon might not show your ad. Otherwise, you pretty much control if you're going to be in that number 1 spot, number 2 spot, number 3 spot. Like we're talking about ads right now, okay? Like we're looking at the ad rotation tracker up here in ASINSIGHT. When you talk about organic, we can't just buy our way organically in theory, right? Like when we pay for ads, we're trying to increase our organic rank, but you guys get what I'm saying. When it comes to ads, we basically control that. So this is kind of a function of who's willing to outspend their competition to, occupy that first sponsored product ad spot. But you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. They even track down here 5, 6. There's various obviously sponsored product ads that are on most Amazon pages. I don't know how closely you guys monitor it, but look for the sponsored tag. They're finding new places to include sponsored product ads all over the place on Amazon because it's, you know, generating them literally billions of dollars. You know what I mean? They made a hard push in 2019 to make that a thing, to force sellers into paying for ads. Not that we weren't advertising before then, but they really made a hard push in 2019. Most of us know what we're talking about probably if you were selling back then. And now it's just grown year over year over year over year, the Amazon ads arm. And you have the organic rotation tracker as well. So now, again, we're not just looking at the ASIN, right? Initially, we had one ASIN that we looked up. It was the MX5 or XM5 Sony headphones. We departed from there. We looked at a specific search term, which was Sony headphones. Doesn't mean that only Sony headphones are going to rank though, because Amazon's willing to let Bose bid on those search terms and climb the ranks, and Apple obviously as well. So now also you can see the organic rotation tracker as well for Sony headphones. All right. And you can do this breakdown for all of the various search terms here. Like if we wanted to go down the rabbit hole of Bose headphones, we can do that as well. Now, if we go up here, that was the reverse ASIN lookup. That's most likely where you're going to spend most of your time, I would guess, but there is a traffic diagnosis tool as well. Okay. You can see total traffic. Again, this is by ASIN. So now we're looking at the ASIN again, the XM5 headphones, total traffic, organic traffic, ad traffic, organic rank, sponsored products, sponsored brands. You see, I'm just going across up there. You can see how much traffic is being generated by each of those, right? They don't just say ads and lump everything together. Well, they do, but they also break it down. That's what's so special about this tool. Like they get very granular. And the top 20 keywords driving the increase in total traffic. Now, this is why I had to look up AirPods Max. When I was preparing for this video, I was like, what the heck is AirPods Max? I don't really watch TV. I guess you can say I live under a rock. I'm not an Apple guy and I don't watch TV unless it's the NFL. And I don't really watch commercials because I just watch Red Zone. Shout out to Red Zone, no commercials. So yeah, so I basically live under a rock. So I was like, what is AirPods Max? Because look at this increase in traffic. On a percentage basis, that's absolutely absurd. It's as high as it could possibly register. And I'm guessing it's because Apple recently announced the AirPods Max, probably ahead of Christmas. As a result, it went from nothing to a very substantial something. So on this list of the top 20 keywords driving the increase of total traffic to this Bose headphones listing, AirPods Max is number one by a landslide margin. It went from 0 to almost 2,500 impressions. All right. And this is why you also leverage things like automatic ads on Amazon, because you don't necessarily need to know what AirPods Max are. Your automatic ad will go find that for you. And if it's relevant, you will know because it will perform. And you guys get why, right? Because the AirPods Max were over-ear headphones, and the product we're looking at right now on Amazon, just for one last refresher, is the Sony XM5 over-ear headphones. So hopefully you guys see why the Apple headphones are relevant, right? Because some people who might want the Apple headphones say, oh, but I can save $200 and buy these Sony headphones that are, by the way, still probably quite overpriced. Just saying. And you know, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but like they're only headphones, guys. We're not talking about like a home theater sound system here, where I know there can be substantial differences, but I could be wrong. How far have headphones come? I don't know. Anyways, so you see this here, the traffic diagnosis tool. And by the way, you can click each one. Okay. So if I go to organic traffic, AirPods Max is still contributing the most, but I guess it's because it's sorted by that percentage basis. So that's still, you know what I mean? That's still ad traffic. Now notice, ad traffic does not include the AirPods Max. You know what I'm saying? And that might be because their manual ad campaign needs to be updated to include that search term. This isn't on ASINSIGHT. This is on whoever's managing the ads for the Sony headphones. Okay. They need to add AirPods Max. Is that what it's called? AirPods Max. Yeah. I keep wanting to call them Air Maxes. Shout out to Nike. Anyways, let's go to the next one. So Traffic Insight is what it sounds like. This is actually a really nice looking report. Like check it out. And you can export it as an image and as a Excel file. So you get the ASIN traffic score, you get the total keyword count, and that is basically for the last 7 days. So it's not like lifetime. Trend of the price, the review average rating, the review count, all good indicators of things like sales velocity and, you know, do people like the product? Can you improve upon anything? Are they, you know, doing anything with variable pricing? You know, if it's a big brand like Sony or Bose or Apple, you probably aren't going to see much variable pricing unless they release a new model and reduce the price of the previous ones. But if it's like a, you know, private label seller like us, we might be a little bit more fluid with our pricing. Display position, traffic ratio, head word, mid tail word, and long tail word count. So again, getting into like real granular level with various keywords and phrases driving traffic to their product. Top 10 organic traffic. You can get all of the top 10 phrases driving traffic to this listing. Sony headphones, AirPods Max, Sony WH-1000 XM4. So people looking for the older model are clicking the newer model. Sony XM5, Sony in general, Bose headphones, Bose Quiet Comfort, XM5, XM4. Top 10 ad traffic as well. So you're basically looking at how they're spending their money. Top 10 organic ranking. So what, search terms are driving traffic there. Recommended keywords, high bid, low budget keywords. So this might be keywords where you need to increase your budget. So you can see due to insufficient budget, it's preventing full display. Anybody managing the ads, I would assume for a big brand like Sony, somebody's managing them. They may want to consider increasing their budget there. Because also when you run out of budget, guys, you're letting people, your competitors, occupy that same space that you would have occupied for less money. Think about it. So a little bit of it's almost like game theory. And potential keywords as well that you might want to focus on. You have low organic rank on those keywords that may be potentially very relevant for increasing your traffic and increasing your sales. So also they have the ASINSIGHT version of that report, going to look very similar to what we just looked at, but it is going to be primarily through the lens of advertising. Okay, so if you're not advertising your product, you're not going to see anything here and you'd be wasting your time. But this is mainly for spying on competitors, I would say anyways. We're doing competitive analysis because with FBA, I mean, theoretically, this is for FBA sellers, right? Or it could be, I guess wholesale. It's really anywhere where you're investing a lot of time and money into a product that you really want to succeed. It's just insane the level of market research you can do thanks to tools like ASINSIGHT linked in the description without really spending any money, right? I mean, if you grab the free trial here, and then I'm sure you're gonna love it. So make sure you use code Ryan when you upgrade, get 30% off 12 months, but it is so much cheaper than launching a failed product, okay? And after that, guys, the last thing you need to know, the weekly traffic report. So you get the ASIN traffic score week over week over week. You get the traffic ratio, again, organic to advertised. This has a really healthy, basically 2-to-1 organic to ads. Keyword count change. You always wanna see that organically improving, you know what I mean? You want to organically rank on as many keywords as possible, as many relevant keywords, we should say. It's okay to lose rank on irrelevant keywords. They give you top 5 organic keywords for organic traffic growth. Okay, so again, they are monitoring your ASIN and the sphere. You know what I'm saying? The product category, the niche that you exist in, and what search terms are driving traffic, not only to you, but to your competitors, leveraging the competitor data and saying, hey, this is working for your competition. You may want to consider really focusing on ranking better on those top 5 keywords for organic traffic growth. Really cool, extremely valuable. Top 5 keywords for organic traffic decline, ad traffic growth, ad traffic decline, organic traffic skyrocket keyword. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So it's looking at a growth rate on a percentage basis there. It looks like it can be skewed by new products, like the XM5 being the new model. You see that the growth rate is basically 10,000%. It's basically the maximum they'll allow because it's a new product, right? Similar to what we saw with the AirPod Maxes, right? So anyways, guys, that's basically it. I mean, you get the gist of it. ASINSIGHT is one of, if not the most powerful tool when it comes to gathering information, doing market research, doing things that, you probably used to have to pay an agency to spend a month on, right? And you'd have to pay a premium for that. And normal private label sellers like us wouldn't be able to afford to do it. Now a tool like ASINSIGHT is allowing us to do that in like a day, in less than a day, putting it, mere clicks away. So make sure to check out ASINSIGHT. This tool is second to none. It's going to be linked in the description. I'll be using it when I'm looking at new products to launch in 2024. I hope you do too. Guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.